How about you be a partner and not have to be asked? Yeah, that's bare minimum. My immediate reaction was, I bet your husband is asking for sex and you don't give it to him.
We know that when that happens, either that person is not in a healthy relationship or is not in a relationship at all.
That type of comment is one of those comments where you can clearly see that they feel like they're against their partner and that their partner is against them. Pointing fingers is pointing, how about you be a better partner and do stuff without being asked. Welcome back, everyone, to Doing It Raw Relationship Goals. We are your hosts, Moises and Brie Rico. Apparently my wife has an alter ego online, but welcome to the greatest relationship podcast in the world. And I do mean it that way. At least we're getting there.
Welcome, everyone. Excited to have you all here.
Excited.
Being part of this conversation that we're about to have.
My wife had a rough night.
Very rough.
I mean, it ended pretty good, but
it didn't end pretty good. It was rough, and then it got good, and then it got okay. I don't know. So if I say some stuff, it's just my brain not working right now.
But we have another interesting conversation from a certain topic that I think a lot of you guys will relate to. And I know that's basically what we talk about, things that you guys can relate to. And we're going to give our thoughts on it. And we're going to go back and forth so you can see how two different perspectives relate. But we do have a Karen.
It's sorry. Just making sure it's not. It's just know that when we choose these topics, they're based on things that we see that happen to us, that we try to bring a perspective that of what we went through and the challenges that we overcame when it comes to the issue or whatever it is. The comments that people say, because sometimes like people comment things out of hurt.
Yeah.
Right? Like people, and we know it's hurt because we've been there.
Yeah.
Especially me, like when I see some comments, I'm like, yeah, I understand. Like I was there too. So it's like, to us, it's like, it's important because we want to help your guys' growth as individuals and as a couple to get through the issues that start coming up and things like that, and kind of like for you to see a different perspective of the issues that you're having.
Because that is the key difference, is being able to, you don't have to agree, and you don't have to think it's okay, but you can look to understand, to see where they're coming from. And that is the biggest thing that helped us, is we now look to understand each other, where we're coming from, and not, again, we don't have to agree, we don't have to say that's okay or whatever it may be, but we look to understand. Of course, it doesn't take away accountability or certain things like that, but the curious part and looking to understand, that is a big helpful part, instead of criticizing and just, basically just blaming and just saying like, no, that's not okay.
Fingers.
Yeah, that's not okay, you should stop, yada yada yada. It's very judgmental and
Taking matters into your own hands.
And speaking of judgmental, that's essentially what's online right now when it comes to couples. I don't want to say couples, but people in relationships commenting on people who are creating content about relationships. And we give a certain perspective, and the people who don't agree with it come into the comments and they have their 2 cents. And we understand. But they're just commenting on the video. They're not they're like, they don't know the full picture and they don't know the full context, and so on and so forth. So this comment in one of our posts, and we will leave it up to you to go find that post and go find this comment. I wanted to comment, but I was like, oh, it's better for a podcast. So this person commented, I think the video was about one of our previous podcasts, a clip from one of our previous podcasts with a guest, where I think in the clip, our guest was talking about that when a woman is saying, it was either him or me. I think it was him, no?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about when a woman is asking her husband to do something, right? Or nags him to do something, the man goes quickly to like, that's how my mom spoke to me and I don't like it. So I'm going to shut down and I'm going to ignore you and not do what you asked me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so on and so forth, which is true to a certain extent, right?
I mean, subconsciously, because
Yeah.
the way you're saying it seems like that's
Yeah,
what
that is
men
conscious,
think,
that
but
they're doing it on purpose.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's like subconsciously
It
you
just
guys
puts
do
them,
that. Yeah.
it just puts them back. Even when back then, when they were kids, literally, rebelling against their mom, they were doing it subconsciously. It's, I don't like it, so I'm just gonna avoid it, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's subconscious. It's a behavior that was learned. It's not done on purpose just to retaliate against you because they don't like you. However, the way that it's given, I can understand how a woman can be like, well, he doesn't do it because he doesn't love me. And because he doesn't love me, he doesn't understand me. And all this spiral, right? That they feel like they're doing it on purpose just to get back at them, when that is not the case. But that is why damage is created in those circumstances. So because the clip was of that, this commenter commented in that clip, how about you be a partner and not have to be asked? And a lot of women, they cheer that, like, yeah, that's bare minimum. That's what the man should
I
do.
did it.
You would have.
Yeah, I would have, but that's why I said like that's why I told you like yeah, I'm not gonna comment because that's it's basically me like, you know how we tell our couples like don't get to somebody else's level when you're already up here, like it's basically me doing that, trying to make somebody who's not ready to understand.
Who's blaming and not looking with it.
Yeah, like I was like there's no point in that, and just like my energy doesn't need to be wasted.
Yeah.
The energy I don't even have.
But that's why we're here, to help you, because obviously you're listening to this podcast because you're looking to better yourself and your relationship. So we'll give you our perspective on this. So this commenter commented this: how about you be a partner and not have to be asked? My immediate reaction was, I bet your husband is asking for sex and you don't give it to him. And it's like, I wanted to comment like, well, is your husband asking for sex? Or are you giving it to him without being asked? Again, I'm assuming here.
And then she's gonna be like, why does it have to be about see, like this, that's why I'm like, why would I comment if I already know it's going to go into something that sorry, continue.
Yeah, and I had the conversation in my head too of, if I were to comment that, she would say, well, I would if he would pick up the socks and do the laundry and all that stuff. Like, all right. It's kind of like the chicken or the egg story. One of you has to start. It doesn't matter who. One of you or both of you, if you want your relationship to work. So it gives that kind of energy of like, I don't give him what he wants, and he has to ask for it, but I don't want to give it to him whether he asks for it or not. And it's like, well, he's also doing the same thing, but you're mad that he's doing that, and you expect him to fix it, but you're not fixing your end.
Yeah.
Again, we're assuming that this is what's happening here because, of course, people are not going to display that. But based off this, it's like, well, I'm going through this personally, or have gone through this personally. If not, they wouldn't have commented that.
And I like, let's just make sure like we're not, because I don't want people to like go back and see who commented and like like it's not anything against this person. Because I was in that situation too. The problem is that you're commenting on something that you don't know the full story. You don't know the full conversation. If it was somebody that was like, you know what, I watched the whole podcast and this is my opinion, like this and this and that, like, okay, cool. We understand you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. But you know that when somebody comments in that tone or per se, it's
I mean, there is a tone. It's
it's
how
to
about you be a partner?
yeah,
It's like
it's to
very
be
demanding and
yeah, demanding, blaming and stuff like that.
deflecting.
And we know that when that happens, it's because either that person is not in a healthy relationship or is not in a relationship at all.
Or if whether they're in a relationship or not, they're just going through it or have gone through it before.
Yeah. And just spreading that kind of like, not negativity, but I mean it is, but
Energy.
it doesn't serve any purpose.
Yeah. It serves yourself to a certain extent, because we put this kind of content out there for you all, and we help couples as well that come towards us and let us know like, hey, we need help in certain stuff. But we're also seeing that with this whole social media game, it's like I want to seek approval from people, and I mean that's a whole other conversation when it comes to relationships, but that's essentially it. Because yeah, that's the most liked comment in that section. But then who's liking it? It's not someone who's looking to improve their relationship. It's people who are going through the same thing, looking for validation over what they're going through. Other women who feel like, yeah, I need to baby my husband. I need to tell him exactly what to do, and so on and so forth. And that's too much, or whatever it may be. The comment is also giving off energy of you wanting your partner to just read your mind and for them to do exactly what you want them to do at the time that you wanted to do them, the way that you wanted to do it. And it's like, yeah, that's expecting way too much for your husband to just take over, specifically the part of reading your mind.
No.
Because again, if you were to read his mind, he probably has other things in line that he's thinking about, and so on and so forth, that you have no idea about.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is what I would say to a person that chooses to comment on our videos or any video having to do with healthy relationships and trying to be better, is that I challenge you to watch every episode that we've put out there, to use tools that we've talked about, that we've given couples for a period of time, and then come back and see if you feel the same way. Like, that's a challenge for anybody out there that just feels some type of way of what we say. Because I know for a fact that when I started doing those things, when I would bring that kind of energy, because I've always been that kind of person that tries to test things, right? Like, test this, test that, like, oh, like, I said I was going to stop saying like so much. Where somebody says something and I didn't agree, and I was like, and I was, okay, like, that doesn't, but what about this? But what about that? What if aliens came? You know what I mean? So it's like, I was one of those people. And then when I started doing the work and using the tools and things like that, I started realizing, hey, like, this is actually, I was actually in the wrong. So that's what I'm saying. I challenge anybody who feels some type of way about our content, do the things that we tell you to do. Watch our videos and see how you feel after that.
Yeah. Yeah, because we went through it personally, right? Where you had instances where you would nag at me of doing something and all that stuff. Because it's one of those things, I think we even had a conversation like years ago. And I think you guys can relate to it, where if you've ever had this conversation, or you feel like your spouse, your wife, is giving off that energy of she's stressed, she's overwhelmed, and all she wants you to do is figure out a way that you can take that away from her by, reading her mind to a certain extent and figuring out what needs to be taken care of. And the reason I say that is because whenever my wife was upset and I had no idea what happened, I would start cleaning. I would start vacuuming. I would start sweeping and mopping. I would start doing the dishes, take care of the girls, take them somewhere, take them outside, and they're like, all right. It's this that strategy that I basically used is throwing mud on the wall and seeing what sticks.
I thought that was like the funniest things you would do. Like, why is he cleaning all of a sudden? And it's I say it's funny because when you're so broken inside and you don't know how to have a healthy relationship, and you need a lot of healing, it turns into like sometimes I would see you do that stuff, and I would be asking myself like, what is he doing? But then feeling like, oh cool, he's cleaning because I'm upset. And it would make me feel good, but that wasn't the solution to the problem.
Yeah, because
at the end of the day, it wasn't.
Yeah, because I cleaned out of fear. I cleaned out of wanting to avoid this from escalating any further. I didn't clean out of, to a certain extent, love, but it was masked by, again, that fear and like not wanting to escalate anymore. Now I clean because I know it's going to help you, and I know that you enjoy it. And I know exactly, I mean, not exactly, but you and I now know that there's a multitude of things that need to be done, whether it's cleaning or laundry and things like that. Now you know, or are okay with when I do it, whenever I do it, and however I do it as well, and you're okay with that. Back then, it was like, thank you for your efforts. And then she would go do some of the dishes again, or sweep them, mop the floor, or whatever it may be. And also long term, it didn't make her feel good because eventually she started knowing like, oh, he's doing it because he's upset, and maybe he's doing it because I'm upset or because of what I did. So even though at first it's like, oh, finally he's taking the load off of my head, my mind, or whatever, but then a different load came on, which is a mental and emotional load that took over, which is also heavy. And because she saw that, and it's not like I'm retaliating against her and so on and so forth, but it is heavier to carry that, even though the cleaning is done and things like that. Now it's like, oh, now I have to deal with this guy. He did whatever he had to do, but he did it out of fear and being scared, and that made him upset. And disconnection and so on and so forth. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. That feeling of clean. Whenever mom is upset, you start cleaning just because.
and that brings us back to that comment, right? Because that clip was about nagging, the wife nagging at the husband.
How about you be a better partner?
Yeah, and
do stuff without being asked.
And also seeing your partner as, or you being a mom to your partner, as wives, in that sense, where we're like, you should know better, you're an adult or whatever, like, can you do this, or not can you, but like, do this or do that, don't leave your socks on the floor. And it took a lot to recognize. I mean, I said it on that podcast that I was being a mom to you. It took a lot, but I started realizing that I wasn't perfect either. I wasn't the perfect partner either. So that's why I'm like, how can I even answer to this person if I know for a fact that she's not perfect, and she's got her own things she needs to work on. And I did want to put something, and this is what I wanted to say, and I'm going to say it now. is that at the end of the day, when you are throwing that kind of like shame on someone, like you should be a better partner, or what? How about you be an adult? How about you? I mean, all of these things is how about you worry about growing yourself?
Mm-hmm.
How about you start taking accountability for what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was huge with our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where I started seeing like, you know what, I'm actually not perfect either. I could go put gas in the car, right? I could be
Mm-hmm.
independent and go do that, but I don't. I could put away my makeup all the time, but I don't. There's a whole list of things that I could
The
do.
hairs.
There's three other girls in this
I
house, so
know.
they're not mine. They're not just mine now. But there's a whole list of
There's
things.
one right here.
I'm done.
And there's a whole list of
There's a
things.
whole list of things that I can start thinking
Mm-hmm.
about what I do that not make me the best partner,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what I would have said to that person. Listen, like, I understand they could, but so could you.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you worry about what you can change
Mm-hmm.
first
Yep.
instead of trying to change somebody else? You hear it all the time, like, you can't control other people's actions. You can only control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. Like, I think people think that when you say that, it's like, oh, well, then it's up to me to tell them
Mm-hmm.
that they should be better. And it's no, it's up to you to do better yourself
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, we tell our couples that we help that even if it's your spouse's problem and it's 99.9% their issue, that 0.1% is still 100% your responsibility to help them. And for you to help your partner get to where they need to be and whatever they need help with and whatever it may be. First, you have to accept that that's an issue that you're going to deal with, because if it's your spouse's problem, technically it's your problem too, to a certain extent. And you have to help them. And you need to figure out how to work as a team to address the issue together. That type of comment is one of those comments where you can clearly see that that they feel like they're against their partner and that their partner is against them. Because again, it's pointing fingers. It's pointing, how about you be a better partner and do stuff without being asked.
Yeah.
Is how about you take this load, you take this responsibility. And I get it. I understand. Yes, men do need to be better. Yes, men need to go ahead and pick up after themselves instead of acting like kids and being treated like kids by their spouse. I 100% agree with that. The approach to it though that they're taking is going to cause more damage, again, because it's like a nagging mom who was nagging their teenage boy to go in and clean up their room and pick up their socks and so on and so forth. And that's not what you want in a spouse. I say that because we lived it together. My wife, when we moved in together, not that the socks needed to be cleaned or anything like that, but it was like no matter how much I did good that I thought of beforehand or that I
You
thought I
did leave your
did.
socks in the living room all the time, though.
Okay. That. But that even stuff that, when I did do stuff, her focus on what I didn't do. And it was like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And
I think it was more, my focus was more of the things that I expected you to do.
without letting me know.
Yeah, like it was just like this expectation that I had in my head. He should know. He should know he needs to do this and this and that. But then in your brain, it's like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna take care of without knowing my list of things, right? And at the end of the day, it would be like, what did you do all day? And you're like, what do you mean? I did all of these things, and I'm like, you did nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. And we went through that and we lived it, and we got to the point where I told my wife, here's a book. I don't want you to talk to me that way.
I wasn't your wife yet.
That's when I went to my girlfriend at the time.
It's raw. We're keeping it
But yeah,
real.
even at the point that she was my girlfriend, not engaged, not anything, no kids, besides our son, it was like, I don't want you to talk to me that way anymore. Give her a book and she read it and she was like, all right, I get it. You don't want me to talk that way to you again. Um, and you, again, it's not like it was an overnight fix. However,
Why did you give me the book instead of just talking to me and saying,
because if I did talk to you, you would just be like, you still talk to me like if it was you were talking to your kid, teenage boy. Like, why are you talking to me, dude? Like, I go to work and I do all this stuff. Like,
who are you?
I'm just asking you to do all these things, and so I don't have to do it when I get home.
Yeah, you're right.
So you're like, all right, listen to an expert, because clearly you're not listening to me right now. But at least I was the one that handed it to you. And again, it wasn't an overnight thing that things were fixed. It took time and it took growth on both parts, not just hers, but mine too. Because I also read that book. I read it so I can learn how to communicate with my wife better and not escalate certain things. Because before that book and before reading that book, believe me, our conversations got loud sometimes.
Excuse me, sorry.
What?
Nothing.
Oh. Yeah, they were not good at all. I would get to the point of yelling, not at her, but just yelling out of like desperation and anger.
And we were living at an apartment, so I wonder what the neighbors would say. And they would hear all the chaos coming from our apartment.
No, I have no idea. But yeah, so we grew from that. Again, we've gone through what this lady's going through right now, probably in their relationship, or I've gone through it before. And I know many of you are going through that or have gone through it as well. How do we get through it? Again, one of us, didn't matter who started, but one of us or both of us had needed to start to grow. Like I mentioned, I read that book first and then I gave it to her. So I did the growing first. I didn't tell her, you go ahead and stop behaving this way towards me, and then I'll stop behaving that way towards you. It was like, no, what can I do? What can I control? And again, even if I gave her the book, that didn't mean she had to read it. I wasn't forcing her to read it. I just gave her the option to, like, hey, if you want to have a good relationship, you need to read this book because I don't like the way you're talking to me right now. And again, and guess what? The reason why I was able to give her that book is because I read that book. So I was able to communicate with you properly as to why I wanted you to read that book and so on and so forth, instead of, just handing it to you and, hey, learn from this book and hopefully it helps you type deal.
Yeah.
Just giving you the responsibility of stop nagging stuff to me and then I'll get stuff done. But no, it's like, okay, I'll get stuff done, I'll grow, and then can you please stop nagging to me? And now, again, we're not perfect. Neither of us are perfect. We still forget to do some things. We still, again, things fall through the cracks and whatever it may be.
Yeah, we kind of, but me, I get taken over by my feelings, by my emotions, I'm overwhelmed, overstimulated, whatever, and I catch myself still doing some of those things to this day, but at least now I'm aware where I can either stop it before it happens or apologize because it happened.
Because now when you see the trash full,
I just keep stacking it.
You keep stacking it, but also you don't. What do you do when you see the trash is full?
Nothing.
Do you see it? Because, if you were to see the trash full before, it would have been like, why is the trash full? Why hasn't he taken it out? What has he been doing all day that is making him not take it out?
Can he see the trash is full?
Can he see the trash? Like all that stuff, how stinky it is, how messy it is, all that stuff. And those are all valid. However, you see the pattern that it's creating of how you're thinking about your partner, and
you start going down that hole of
villainizing your partner and like they're doing this on purpose because why are they not? I see it, why can't they? I smell it, why can't they? I can take it out right now, why can't they? you start villainizing your partner, and of course, because you have all that temper and anger already built up, the way that you communicate it to your partner, like, hey, how come you haven't taken out the trash? Like, whatever, maybe, blah, blah, blah. Like, go take out the trash, please, because it's already full of stinky, and I don't like it, and I don't know why you didn't take it out before, and people are like,
What I do
share
now,
to my wife.
what I do now is
Water.
I see the trash,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's full, I don't like it. Whatever it is, the reason, and I know that you're busy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's bothering me that much,
Mm-hmm.
I take it out,
Mm-hmm.
which is very rarely.
Mm-hmm.
If you're available, then I ask you,
Mm-hmm. How
hey
do you ask me
babe,
though?
hey babe, do you mind taking out the trash? It's just really smelly and it's making me not want to cook today, or whatever. I don't like the smell, or that's how I say it.
Yeah.
And then I let it go.
And what's my response?
Yeah, babe. Yeah, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, sure. And you do it whenever you do it. Sometimes it's at that moment, or sometimes you're like, yeah, let me just go to the restroom,
Mm-hmm.
which will be in 30 minutes. Let me just finish this email. Let me just whatever, you know. But once I ask you, I don't expect you to
Mm-hmm.
dale, muévele. I don't expect you to do it right away. I asked you, you said yes, you acknowledged it, so I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So whenever you get it done, you get it done.
Yeah, because everyone has seen those videos of a couple making a skit, but they're real life. They do happen in real life.
That's why they're making those skits. Understand that, guys.
Because they do happen.
Those reels are not just for entertainment. Those
Yeah.
are real things, and they're trying to make a like ¿cómo se dice?
A real
Light,
issue, something like
yeah, like make it
joke out of
like something that is like, oh, haha, let's laugh about it. But it's a real issue that eventually will break their marriage apart, their relationship.
And the type of reels we're talking about is those where the wife is asking the husband, "Hey, babe, can you take out the trash?" And the guy says, "Yeah, in a minute." And the girl doesn't like it. It's like, "No, I need it now, down now." Like, never mind, I'll go do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And again, in that walk of taking out the trash and taking those actions,
And again, I used to be like that.
you're villainizing your partner. Why couldn't you do it? Why couldn't you just listen and just do it right now? It's so simple. I'm doing it right now because I could, and all that stuff, and blah, 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 just filling your mind with negative stuff about your partner and villainizing them, and of course, and then you take that into the bedroom, and your partner is like, oh well, she didn't tell me anything. It looks like she did it by herself, and she hasn't told me anything wrong. And then he tries to approach you to have some connection time, and you're like, get out of here. I have a headache. Not tonight.
Yeah.
I'm too tired.
Because of everything that's been going on in the shadows of like she's thinking, like telling all these stories to herself, doing the stuff that she asked him to do, but he didn't do it in the moment that she wanted. And there's no communication in that. So at the end of the day, there's like no connection, there's nothing, there's all there is anger, resentment, whatever it is. And that's why these things happen. And that's why I said I used to be like that. I mean, you hated it when I said like, oh, I'll just find somebody else to do it then.
Everyone.
Like when I would say I needed something done, and then I don't know, you wouldn't do it. Okay, I'm gonna find somebody else. I'm gonna call my dad. Let me call my dad to cut the weeds.
Oh. And the weeds are fine. I'll call him. But yeah, it's again, this is not to take away accountability from the partner. If your partner, the husband, is literally like acting like a kid and not picking up for himself and being like expecting for you to mommy him, that's a completely different conversation. Yeah, that definitely is a problem. But like we mentioned in the beginning, in order for the relationship to grow, You can't expect your partner to start growing, and you just, for them to go ahead and meet you where you are, kind of deal. You both have to grow. Again, the reason why we have this relationship is because we've been like this throughout our entire relationship. I grow, she grew. I grow, she grew, and so on and so forth. And we pulled each other to where we needed to be.
Yeah.
And we're at a point that in a relationship, a year ago we thought that we had a healthy relationship, and yes, it was still healthy, but and even years prior to that. But now it's at a level where we know that we're locked in, and what I mean by locked in, like we are locked in. It's going to be hard for things to rock us. Not that they're impossible, but we're doing everything in our power, and the fact that we are, helping couples, that reinforces it even more.
No.
And so on and so forth, to prevent all those things from rocking us further than they need to rock us. And we're talking about everything: financial stuff, kids, dating, connection, all the stuff, all the issues that you go through in your relationship. Not that we're not going to go through them, because we know we are, but we are focusing on us two. It's us two against all of those things.
Yeah.
And we're working as a team. And if we don't agree, then we figure out a compromise or whatever it may be. We always look to what's best for our relationship, not what's best for my wife only, or what's best for me only, what's best for our relationship. And yeah, we talk through it. We talk through everything about life through that lens, because we're building our relationship. We're building our life around our relationship, not our relationship around our life.
Yeah. Yeah. So if at any moment you heard something that was like, you know what, I don't agree or whatever, ask yourself, why don't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going through? What kind of emotions and feelings are you feeling that it's making you have to defend yourself, or have to like attack, or have to like, that feeling when you read something and then you're like, no.
Because it triggers something within
It
you.
triggers something, yeah, because that's happened to me, and I had to stop myself from commenting on other people's
Yeah.
other people's posts, because I'm like, there's no need for that kind of energy. Like,
Yeah.
so then I had to reassess why it was triggering me, and not try to just be right, because that's what we tend to do. We try to be right all the time.
And if you're always right and looking to be right and finding things that prove that you're right, you're never going to grow.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to be wrong, and for you to learn, because learn is what causes growth.
Yeah.
But if you are thinking that you're right, and that you're right in your feelings and your emotions and even the facts and all that stuff, because it's really feelings and emotions, to be honest, then yeah, you're going to be stuck there, and you're going to wonder why, like, why your relationship's not doing good, and all those things. So,
Yeah.
again, don't think that your partner is going to read your mind. Again, the expectations, the uncommunicated expectations, those are the things that you expect your partner to read and know and kind of take away, and already be like, because you know how there's also that thing of like, if he really wanted to, he would. I'm like, he really wanted to what?
Yeah.
He has to know what you want him to want to go ahead and give to you, and
Yeah.
then he's going to be like, well.
And even if you do tell him what you want, how are you telling him?
Mm-hmm.
How are you telling him that you want it?
And
Are you saying, hey, why haven't you taken out the trash? Like, it's stinky, it's full, it's dripping out, or whatever. Are you saying, hey, babe, do you mind taking out the trash? Because it's kind of smelly in the house.
Mm-hmm.
How are you saying it?
Mm-hmm.
So ask yourself those questions, you guys. We hope that this little conversation helped. If we have to continue recording the same topic in different ways for you guys, we will.
Yeah.
So that you understand that you need to grow yourself first before you have any kind of expectation of your spouse to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you that when you grow yourself, you won't have an expectation anymore. So think about that. And anything else before we move on?
No, just to tie in what she said, if right now you're thinking all these things, right, about any issues whatever you're thinking that your partner has an issue with, or that they need to fix, first think, okay, if they need to fix that or they're having trouble with that, then what am I having trouble with, and how can I help them? Am I enabling or kind of feeding that trouble in some sort of way? Because that's what I did in our sense. Because of the communication we had, I didn't expect for her to, just take whatever I said and be like, all right, I'll fix it. It was in the matter of what can I do as her husband to improve the way that I communicate with her. Because again, I also wasn't perfect. I wasn't just one to like, I don't know how did I communicate at the beginning? I
You
wouldn't.
didn't communicate. I'm like, what communicate?
I wouldn't communicate.
Yeah.
But then even afterwards, it was like, hey, I don't like this because it's making me feel this way. And you'll be like, the hell, bro? That's an exaggerated version of her reaction.
Okay.
Interpretation of you, how you react.
You're a man. Who cares?
Yeah, deal with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, clearly didn't work. She didn't cut through it. But so
Yeah.
it was like, all right. There was even a point, have we mentioned this before? There was even a point in time, and this is when our relationship was to a certain extent healthy. I even asked you, like, hey, babe, I keep wondering what is the best way to communicate with you so that it doesn't escalate. And that conversation escalated.
When? Oh yeah, I remember that. I mean, I think it was several times actually.
Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna take time. We tell our couples all the time, like, hey, just because you start working with us and you know the tools of communication doesn't mean it's gonna go away like that. Like
No.
you still have to practice and learn, and you're gonna learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Your conversations are still gonna escalate at the beginning, but because you know better now and you know the tools, you will be able to use those tools for the next conversation. You will learn from the conversation that you had and know where you messed up, and you can implement the tools that we teach them, so that the next conversation you have, it's a little bit better, and then a little bit better, and so on and so forth. What it took us years, it's taking them weeks and months to go ahead and figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing to see the transformation.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. But
yeah. So cool.
Yeah. So there's some exciting stuff coming up that you will probably see plugged in the future episodes. I don't know exactly when, but it is. Do you want to kind of tell them or no?
No.
No? All right. Well, I guess you have to tune in for the next episodes to see we display it. But it is, in my opinion, and then
revolutionary.
It is very much revolutionary. There's nothing like it out there. Literally, there's nothing like it out there. I've done my research. But it is to help in this type of scenario where it's the conversation, how to start it, how to, keep it from escalating, and how to come back together and work as a team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep tuned.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, to this podcast, and we will see you guys next time.